On this week's UBC From Here, undergraduates take a leading role in research.
Research is actually one of the most important things that we do. Certainly teaching is the main focus at the university, but we do pride ourselves to creating new knowledge. One way that we create that new knowledge is through active research and scholarship.
Fine arts students celebrate their fourth year in style.
Whether it's a solo piece or a collaborative piece or a workshop like some of our students are doing. And we have the entire year from September right up until April to explore, do research, really discover our own work and create our own work, either collaboratively or individually.
And studying the community model of teaching.
Some of the themes that we're seeing coming from our research involve what does curriculum look like when you co-construct it with the kids in the community versus laying curriculum on kids. It comes from what you make together. And the first thing that we've seen is that the curriculum is community making. When kids are part of creating a community with teachers, with the local place or being place conscious in mind, it's invigorating and exciting. They own their learning.
In the recent building code, it already talks about energy efficient homes, and we have certain requirements to fulfill that.
For years and years, we've wanted to obviously cooperate and we want to be part of the community in terms of our partnership with UBCO. We understand how important that is to the community and how important it is to our business, providing us with people who can help us build Wilden, and we're thrilled to have UBC campus in the Okanagan, and also thrilled from somewhat of a selfish point of view to be able to have access to that type of research. It's fantastic.
What we're doing is we're actually building two homes, one to standard code, to today's standards. We're stepping up the next home with advice from the students at the university with anything we can throw at it that has great energy efficiencies. And further to that, we're bringing in the monitoring aspect of this. We're actually in a real life situation with occupied homes. They're gonna install sensors into two homes, which is exciting, and people will be able to see the differences in the energy consumption.
This is an excellent example where university, college, and industry people come together and work on something innovative. Here, UBC researchers are doing the full-fledged research, and during the construction, Okanagan College students will be participating in the construction phases as well as installation of the sensors. And the blank development, the Wilden, they are contributing the land and also the authentic homes. They are building the major construction. So that's how we collaborate together. And at the same time, there will be another partner, GeoDility. They will be providing the HVAC systems and geothermal systems.
It's fantastic for us because there's lots of information about energy efficiency, but a lot of it is from the suppliers and it's from the manufacturers. This comes from a completely impartial group, and the testing is of course done on real homes with real people living real lives. That I think will really strike home with our consumers and with other builders and suppliers and so on. So I think the information will be invaluable.
When you do research, we just don't want this research to be publishing paper and you put it on the shelves. You would like to see that it is really applied. That gives you, enormous joy that you see that what you have developed in the lab, eventually people are using it in the real world, in real construction.
Genuine learning means that you're willing to be very vulnerable. So it means that I can say, I don't know. Because why would you bother saying that you're learning something if you already know it? Curriculum, rather than being an object that you have to cover, is something that you journey through together and create in a classroom alongside students.
Vernon Community School is a place of learning and growth where the focus is on student learning and growth, not on teaching. It's a place where diversity is honored and that we are creating something together with the students all the time as we get to know them better, as they know themselves better as learners.
Some of the themes that we're seeing coming from our research involve what does curriculum look like when you co-construct it with the kids in the community versus laying curriculum on kids. It comes from what you make together. And the first thing that we've seen is that the curriculum is community making. When kids are part of creating a community with teachers, with the local place or being place conscious in mind, it's invigorating and exciting, and they own their learning.
In the province of British Columbia, we're moving to a new ministry curriculum. And a lot of what the community school is trying to do is embrace that new curriculum. And to be able to partner with UBCO, who's also teaching students and student teachers, is fantastic. It allows us to have a ministry, university, and real practical school experience all together.
Our collaboration with Margaret and Leighton and UBC has been really powerful because it's allowed us to do more within our district. They've given us an aura of legitimacy because what we're doing is radically different. And so to have the academics with us makes all the difference as far as permission, space to do what we need to do.
For me, as a researcher interested in education being reframed and curriculum being thought of as an opportunity to engage with students and their ideas and the community, the proximity of having this opportunity at Vernon Community School is fabulous. So two bold teachers have initiated this school, and it's their efforts that I get to have the privilege of following and figuring out what differences does it make for them as teachers to live in classrooms in these ways. And at the same time, I'm also spending time with students. What differences does it make for them? Why is it important to them? What kinds of habits and ways of being do teachers and students have to acquire to be successful in this school? And I think that's the exciting thing for me, is that I really think these students are going to really impact the world in important ways.
To be a half-breed, you didn't belong anywhere.
Advice from a Singer's Sewing Manual from 1949. Prepare yourself.
Theater 482 and 483 class is the class that designed for theater students to pursue what they want to do after graduation.
Theater 483 is essentially the second part to a two-part course that lasts all year. It's a class focused on the graduating students in the interdisciplinary performance program, and it's basically a course where they generate, produce, and perform final graduating projects.
So this is the second part of a 12-credit full-year undergraduate thesis project in the interdisciplinary performance program. What we get to do here is kind of take all the things that we've learned from first to fourth year and any experiences that we've had along the way. We build those together, and with the help of the professors, what they've done is really helped us refine these skills.
We have the opportunity to create a show, whether it's a solo piece or a collaborative piece or a workshop like some of our students are doing. And we have the entire year from September right up until April to explore, do research, really discover our own work and create our own work, either collaboratively or individually. These students, in our current class we have 8, work all year putting together the knowledge, tools, and techniques that they've learned during their years in the interdisciplinary performance program to create either theatrical productions, we have 2 of those, or teaching workshops is what 2 of our students are also doing. It's basically their opportunity to take a full year to explore their own artistic interests in a directed environment. As an instructor, it's incredibly rewarding to watch these students work. The projects are entirely self-generated and self-directed, so what that means is you're seeing the students' personalities and their interests in a way that you don't often get to in a more structured class. And the questions and the level of engagement that they bring to their work are really quite rewarding because it's so personal to them.
Based on this class, it has opened my eyes to all the possibilities that I have in the future. Some that I didn't realize before I started this class, and what a theater piece could really be, and how I could collaborate with other students and collaborate without even using a director, and really what kind of work I can bring into Kelowna and into the community.
The real advantage of this class is that it teaches them, or it empowers them, not only to be artists, but also to be producers, and that's a big part of how they're going to continue to make work outside the atmosphere of a university. This class sort of serves as a kind of stepping stone, a bridge between a purely academic teaching environment and a purely professional environment.
Honestly, all undergrad programs should probably have something like this. I mean, I can't stress enough how fortunate we are to have such a small program like this, and to have the opportunity to bring this kind of work into the real world in the way that we're able to. I want to say I'm really fortunate that we have that opportunity.
Did you know?
We have a world-class research program here at UBC Okanagan. We do research across many disciplines. Research is actually one of the most important things that we do. Certainly teaching is the main focus at the university, but we do pride ourselves to creating new knowledge. One way that we create that new knowledge is through active research and scholarship.
Research has made my university experience so much more exciting because you can take the theory that you learn in the classroom and then really learn how to apply it and be effective.
The Undergraduate Research Conference happens annually. It's focused across the disciplines in the arts and sciences, so we have sciences, social sciences, and the humanities. It's an opportunity for our undergraduate students that are working with senior researchers. They get to present their research findings to the community.
I'm looking forward to the conference to present the results of my study to my colleagues and also to get experience presenting the information in a professional way to answer questions, hopefully succinctly and effectively, as I'll need that experience in the future when I defend my master's thesis and eventually my PhD thesis.
There is quite a bit of variety in research. On one side, you may have a biologist or a chemist that's working in a lab. They may be conducting interviews with people, whether it's psychological research or social science type research as well. That may be local, that may also take them to faraway places. Doing research is actually quite difficult and they're really proud of the research findings that they get, towards the end, and we certainly want them to be able to explain the research to the community and to tell us a little bit about the significance of what these findings are.